Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another edition of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. I'm your host, Pete Pardo. Today is Monday, August the 13th. We've got a pretty short show today, but a couple notable things I do want to talk to you about. All metal stuff today, with the exception of our forgotten favorites. It's a little bit different. But anyway, let's jump right into the new stuff, why don't we, right? So the first album I'm going to talk about, recently released on Relapse Records. It's the fourth release in a kind of concept storyline from this German technical progressive metal band, progressive death metal band, Obscura, Diluvian. Okay? Gotta love these guys. Man, it's technical, it's proggy, it's jazzy at times, it's brutal, fast, slow, atmospheric, kind of everything all mixed into one. So the band came out with the first part of this kind of cosmic tale back a bunch of years ago with Cosmogenesis, and here's the fourth and final installation of that particular storyline. Where they go next from here, I don't know, but this is filled with like gymnastic guitar riffs and solos and unison lines, and the bass playing's off the charts. The drumming is great. You got growled vocals, you got some clean vocals. They also use a little bit of the kind of like the vocoder style vocals that Cynic used a lot back in the early 90s. Very, very good album. A lot of really cool tunes, kind of catchy in spots, but if you love that really technical style, that technical death metal style that Obscura are known for, I think you're going to dig this. It's really, really good. So make sure you look out for that one. Next one, the latest from Oregon's Doom Merchants, Yob. Okay, a little bit of a story behind this album. So their singer-guitar player, he had contracted some kind of intestinal disease not that long ago, and he almost died. Okay, he was really, really sick, but he pulled through it. But that experience kind of really changed him, right? Pretty, as you can imagine, when you almost die, that's a pretty heavy experience. So what he did was he took that experience and it kind of poured into the songwriting for the album. So a lot of the lyrical content behind these songs has a lot to do with his new outlook on life after almost dying. As you can imagine, most of the tunes on here are pretty lengthy, slow, atmospheric, doomy. There's almost some proggy things, some little prog and post-rock going on in a couple tunes, a couple mellower tunes, but again, it's all very epic. You know, if you're a Doom fan who likes constant sledgehammer riffs and all that, not really what Yob is all about, especially not here. It's a lot more of an atmospheric album with some really, really good passages, some well-placed riffs. The vocals are great, mostly clean vocals, but some kind of growly, kind of sludge-ish vocals as well. But a really, really good album that a lot of people are loving, and I do as well. Really, really good. Kind of a mature album for Yob. Next, over in Great Britain, stoner veterans, Orange Goblin, The Wolf Bites Back. Pretty cool album. These guys have been pretty dependable over the years with their mix of like vintage Sabbath style doom and stoner rock and little bits of punk and hardcore, some Motorhead style metal, a little bit of everything on here, some classic rock. Their last couple, I think, were a little stronger than this one, but there's still some really good tunes on here. Title track is really good. Sons of Salem I like a lot. What else we got? Burn the Ships is great. Zeitgeist is great. Couple tunes, kind of filler for me. I don't really like the punky hardcore style of the band, and there's one or two tracks on here like that. Another kind of like kind of generic tune, but the rest of them are really good. Two in particular are really kind of doomy, really, really drive those stoner riffs. I like when the band does that sort of thing. But a very solid album nonetheless. If you really dug their last couple, not much different. Maybe not quite as strong, but still a very solid album from Orange Goblin. Okay, we're going to go over to books. Martin Popoff, writer extraordinaire, Brave Words and Bloody Knuckles, has released a crapload of books over the years. His latest is called Decade of Domination. It's a story of Judas Priest, basically their first decade in existence. So this starts from Rock-a-Rolla and goes all the way to, Screaming for Vengeance and Defenders of the Faith. So basically their classic albums. As is Martin's style, he looks at each album, song-by-song approach. It's mixed in with lots of interviews from guys in the band, producers, and what have you. If you're a fan of, Sin After Sin, Sad Wings of Destiny, Stained Class, Hellbent for Leather, British Steel, all that kind of stuff, this is the book for you. It's also kind of timely, you know, seeing as Priest have been out touring a lot. They released a new album this year. So a very, very cool book if you love the classic Priest material, as we all do, right? So a good read, filled with, you got some pictures in here and a lot of good anecdotes and opinions and tidbits. Good stuff. Okay, that's it for the new stuff for today. We're going to go to Forgotten Favorites. So here's a band that I kind of stumbled upon. I saw them on YouTube a couple years ago, but have not been able to track down their only 2 albums on CD till recently. I'm talking about Black Sheep, and no, this is not Black Sheep, the rap band. This is Black Sheep, the band that Lou Gramm from Foreigner was in right before he joined Foreigner. So both of their albums were released in 1975. We got the self-titled debut, okay, and then we've got Encouraging Words. So what's this band all about? So think of the band Free, Paul Rodgers, Paul Kossoff and company, circa 1975. That's maybe with a little bad company thrown in for good measure. But the first album especially is killer. It's like the long-lost Free album, and Lou Gramm sounds fantastic. Sounds very much like a young Paul Rodgers here. But their guitar player sounds just like Paul Kossoff. But what's interesting, you got a lot of Hammond organ on these albums as well. So it kind of adds that little Deep Purple element. So if you can imagine like early vintage Free, that kind of blues rock mixed with a little Deep Purple, that's what you get with great vocals. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that Mick Jones from Foreigner, well, when he was in Spooky Tooth and looking to put together Foreigner, heard these albums and were like, I got to have that guy. Because anybody else would have said the exact same thing. This is really, really good stuff. And it's amazing how these have been, you know, so rare for so many years. I think any Foreigner fan would love to get their hands on these. But also if you're a Paul Rodgers fan, I think you'd really appreciate this as well. So great, great albums. Black Sheep, my forgotten favorites of today. All right. So visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on the mighty YouTube. We got more stuff coming at you in the days and weeks and months ahead. So make sure you tune in. All right, guys? And look up all this new stuff. You'll love it. Take care. See you soon.